Hello once again, grain traders. I'm meteorologist Sean Sublette for CropProphet, and it's time for the forecast of the forecast, discussion, and verification for this Monday, the 23rd day of June, 2025. Remember, Mondays we go back and review how the forecast of the forecast from Friday played out for this Monday, and we turn the clock back to Friday. We had this very strong delineation between cooler than normal probabilities in the Dakotas and extending all the way down into New Mexico. But of course, heat's been getting the top billing recently, and we had this very dominant signal, 70, 80, 90% probability that the ECMWF ensemble mean would come in warmer than normal for southeastern Iowa all the way to the mid-Atlantic and the interior Northeast. That has come to pass. When we look at the actual ECMWF ensemble mean on this Monday morning, this very dominant signal that's 4, 6, some places more than 10 degrees warmer than normal for week 1, days 1 through 7. And that cooler than normal signature has come to pass as well across the Dakotas, and especially there where we had the higher probabilities in New Mexico. Only kind of exception in that we do see it a tiny bit warmer than normal in the forecast of the ECMWF ensemble mean for week 1 in the Front Range of Colorado. Then we go to week 2. This is days 8 to 14. We rewind to Friday, and the forecast of the forecast, 40 to some places 50% probability that the model would come in warmer than normal for a good part of the corn belt and northward up to the wheat belt. The probability is not as dominant here, although we do see these little gray areas actually suggesting a 40% probability of it being near normal through the confluence there of the Tennessee, Ohio, and Mississippi rivers, and similarly in the north central Nebraska. A lot less signal as you go through these wider locations through southern Kansas, Oklahoma, and southern Montana. Those spots have come in a little bit warmer than normal. Not an awful lot, but certainly as we look through week 2, days 8 to 14, there is a signal of 2 to some places 4 degrees warmer than normal for days 8 to 14. And elsewhere, the warm signal does kind of dominate here once again from the Corn Belt and extending to the Mid-Atlantic and similar up toward the Wheat Belt. So the idea being the massive heat wave that's affecting a lot of locations is going to wane for week 2, days 8 to 14. Turning now to precipitation. Again, rewinding to Friday, the forecast of the forecast with this high probability of it coming in wetter than normal through a key part of the Corn Belt through northern Iowa, and then to a lesser extent back up into Wisconsin and extending southwestward into Kansas and Nebraska. And this drier than normal signal, 40-50% likelihood the model would come in drier than normal through this area of the Soybean belt, through the Ohio Valley where it has been so wet, in this other area, 40-50% likelihood. It will come in drier than normal through the northern part of Minnesota and into North Dakota, and that has come to pass in the actual model this morning. This very dominant signal of wetter than normal conditions over the week 1 forecast, days 1 through 7. In some instances, more than 200 or 250% of normal precipitation for southern Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, and back to Nebraska. And importantly here in Iowa, where the soil moisture over the last 5 weeks is still running a fair bit below normal. But to the converse of that, a drier than normal forecast here in the ECMWF after it's been so wet with the soybean belt here in the southern part or central part of the Ohio Valley. Some good opportunity there to dry out. And then in the days 8 to 14 forecast, week 2, the precipitation anomaly forecast of the forecast, 40% chance of it coming in wetter than normal through Arkansas and the central part of the Mississippi River Valley, and the drier than normal suggestions here along the Front Range and into the Intermountain West. And it does pick up that wetter than normal forecast in the ECMWF here in Arkansas and the southern part of the Tennessee Valley, as well as the Mississippi River Valley. And don't forget to join us for next month's Grain Market Weather Webinar. It is Wednesday, July 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Again, thanks to everyone who joined us for the June webinar and the positive feedback. We're so glad you found it useful and relevant. Again, go to our website, CropProphet.com, to sign up, and we will talk to you again on Friday.